Hello, people of YouTube. My name is Steve Gray. This is Gray's Guitars, and today we are going to be looking at the Fender Player 2 Modded series. So it's essentially their Player 2 series, except they're calling it modded, different pickup configurations, different colors. I think a couple of the Strats have a Floyd Rose on them. You know what you don't see very often is a Telecaster with a Floyd Rose. I don't know if I've ever actually seen that. It's always like a Strat, never a Tele. And no, it's not in this line, so sorry to disappoint you if that's what you were looking for. So the most in-demand mod straight from the factory, Fender Elevated Player 2 modified line brings the firm's most sought-after guitar upgrade to the masses. So Player 2, to my knowledge, is the Mexican line, so made in Mexico. I know it gets confusing. Fender renames things every couple of years. Definitely can get confusing. It doesn't even say made in Mexico on the guitars anymore. It says it's the city. And Shidna, I'm not saying the city right, but the new ones have that. And then it also says they can't say made in USA anymore because I guess a certain percentage of the guitar is not made in the USA. So now they just say made in California. That has been going on for a couple of years. So speedy satin necks, upgraded pickups, expansive electronics, and Floyd Rose tremolos headline the drop, which lifts the humble Player 2 to new heights. So Fender has hot-rodded its humble Player 2 range by unveiling the Player 2 Modified Collection, an assortment of electric guitars and basses that seek to bring a number of modern guitar mods to the masses. Last year, the Big F overhauled its entry-level guitar line and announced the successor to the original Player family when it released the Player 2 lineup. But it was one of the 2024 biggest releases when Fender turned its never-before-seen body options, rolled fretboard edges, and rosewood fingerboards. Player 2 Stratocaster, Telecaster, Jazzmaster, and Jaguar all received rave reviews, but now Fender has harnessed the spirit of the experimentation with the unorthodox Player 2 Modified Expansion Pack. So, broadly speaking, these new mods offer elevated electronics, expansive hardware, additional finish colors, performance-driven upgrades, to lift the Player platform to new heights. Universal upgrades includes a speedy satin finish urethane finish neck, so that's polyurethane, not nitrocellulose. Modified noiseless pickups, locking tuners with tapered shafts. I think what that means, no, they're not saying staggered, so maybe it's just thinner, perhaps. We'll take a look at the pictures. With Fender also rolling out treble bleed circuits, brass black saddles, and in the case of the HSS Strat, a Floyd Rose locking tremolo. These upgrade pickups, should be noted, work to provide Fender classic chime and sparkle while eliminating unwanted noise. Essentially, they're humbuckers. I always thought that was kind of interesting because essentially it's a stacked single coil pickup, and it essentially makes it a humbucker. This has been introduced across new Stratocasters, the HSS Floyd Rose, Telecaster, bass, and jazz bass, precision and jazz. We're just going to take a look at a couple colors here. So each Fender puts its upgrade to the most popular modifications for each model. Early days, players hot rodding their Strat and Tele guitars. To today's musicians pushing sonic boundaries, Fender has always embraced the art of reinvention, says Justin Norvell, Executive Vice President of Product. Leo Fender initially designed our instruments with modularity in mind. There we go, because I can words. Allowing them to evolve alongside the Player and enabling more personalization than any other brand. The Player 2 Modified carries that spirit forward. It's about delivering most... Okay, you know, I don't even care about this crap anymore. Let's just look at the specs. I'm going to go to a website. We're going to pull up one of these bad boys. Look at the colors. Look at the specs. $1,000 price point. $1,000. Let's just get to the chase there. So we have Harvest Green. We have Dusk. I like that. It's kind of like a purpley black color. Kind of like black in the middle and then kind of goes to like a purple burst on the outside. White. Olympic Pearl. Okay. So pearloid, not white. Electric Blue. I am a fan of blue. Got a typical sunburst, and yellow. Not graffiti yellow, but yellow. So let's just scroll down here. Where is our specifications? So modern C-neck, 9.5-inch fretboard radius, rolled edges, new Player 2 noiseless pickups, upgraded electronics, 2-point synchronized tremolo, steel saddles, chamfered tremolo block, whatever the heck that means. Is that a type of metal? We're going to have to look that up. Okay, it's something to do with the angle. Short post locking tuning machines. Okay, so the essentially they don't stick out as much off of the headstock is what that means. Tusk nut, modern string trees. All right, so good stuff there. Let's go ahead and see what they're doing with the Telecaster, because I'm sure you probably want to know what the pickups are there. Telecaster is a little bit more expensive, which is interesting. You don't get the electric blue in the SH configuration, but you do get the dusk. Older bodies, if you're wondering too. It looks like all of these. So let's just do specs here. Older body, push-pull. Okay, so you got some push-pull pots. They're just calling it noiseless telly and modified humbucker. Nothing super fancy there. Knurled flat top knobs, nickel chrome. Does it tell us anything about is it a dual truss rod? Single truss rod, satin urethane, white dot, single action truss rod. Okay, so there you go, no dual action. The precision bass, which I don't know why they're calling it that. I always called this like a PJ bass because you have that additional bridge pickup down there. We'll go through the colors on this too. No electric blue for the P bass, or as I'm calling it, the PJ bass. This one, no rosewood fretboard either. It's probably a lot of the same stuff. Yeah, tapered shaft tuning machines, so it's probably the same thing where they're just shorter. Noiseless pickups. Active preamp with this one, 3-brand EQ. That's always a plus. Alder body, so it looks like they're all going to be made out of alder. And yeah, all these pickups are called the Player 2 noiseless. That's pretty much what they're doing. What I am wondering, let's see here. Let's go to the one with the Floyd. What's the difference? There is 2 different Floyds. That is, oh no, this is not a Floyd. That's just this trash. So let's go to the one with the Floyd. I want to know what kind of Floyd this is. Is it a special? Oh, that might be a special. If you have a Floyd Rose special on a $1,000 guitar, when Harley Benton gives you a Floyd Rose 1000 on a $500 guitar, that disappoints me greatly. All right, let's go to specs. Electronics, general hardware. Floyd Rose special. Yeah. Yep. So, my beef with the Floyd Rose special is, unlike an original Floyd Rose, unlike a Floyd Rose 1000, especially on a guitar that is costing you $1,130, so I'm going to round up there. They always do the $9.99 bullcrap. I like the dust color. But my biggest gripe is a lot of the components, as opposed to hardened steel, are zinc. So I had a Floyd Rose special on a Parker Maxfly, and I ended up having to replace all of the saddle blocks in the Floyd Rose because they just, you use the thing over time, it deteriorates. I don't believe you have a hardened knife edge. A lot of things are zinc, and zinc holds up for a while, but unlike stainless steel or hardened steel, it holds up significantly less. So the more you use this tremolo, the more you're going to wear it out, the more you are going to have to replace all of the parts on it. And honestly, as I said, when a Harley Benton can do a Floyd Rose 1000, so the difference between all the Floyd Roses, I'll just kind of go through that real quick. So the Floyd Rose Special, and typically anything that says licensed Floyd Rose, most of those, a lot of zinc. You get to a Floyd Rose 1000, it's the same thing as an original Floyd Rose, but as opposed to being made in Germany, it is made in Korea. That is why it is less expensive, because labor costs are less expensive, but it's all the same specs with the hardened steel. So putting a Floyd Rose Special on a $1,000 plus guitar, to me, is kind of ridiculous. I'll be honest with you. This one, I would personally avoid this one. So I would say, any of these other ones, price points, but I would, that one, you can't even, a lot of this stuff's out of stock by the looks of it. Do we have, they show me the back of the headstock on this. Yeah, MX, so these are all made in Mexico. What I want to do, though, is, let's see here. Player 2. I wanted to see what the prices are compared to the original Player 2s. So they are a couple $100 more expensive. So, I mean, the difference is I think you get maybe a little bit different pickups, the satin neck, a little bit different tuners, different colors as well. Actually, I'm kind of curious. Let's see if we can just kind of scroll to the specs real quick of this one. If it wants to tell me the specs. Highlights, perhaps. What are we doing the pickups? Player Series pickups. The pickups actually might be the same. I'll be honest with you. But, yeah, so if you want the modded ones, keep in mind there is a premium on that, and you will be paying more money. So, if that's something that you don't like, you find the specs you want in the original series, you save yourself a few $100. There you go. Used market, all of these are going to end up in the $400 to $500 range. At least that for me locally, that's where I'm at. So if you're looking at the resale value, they are cool guitars. You do have cool colors, but at the end of the day, I would stay away from the one with the Floyd, unless you plan on upgrading it. But upgrading a $1,000 guitar to me is kind of ridiculous. You know, if it's like a $500 guitar and you want to start replacing stuff on it, who cares? But I feel like a $1,000 guitar, I shouldn't have to do anything to it. It should just be kind of beautifully perfect. $1,000 plus out of the box, beautiful, perfect guitar, no problems. That's at least where I'm at. And I feel like that Floyd is kind of them cheaping out. I feel like a lot of the specs are just you're paying for an extra fancy color. So will that be better in terms of resale value in the future? Maybe. But I don't think I see it. I mean, a couple of different specs. If you really want the color, as I said, pretty much a $200 premium across the board. And they don't have every model either here. So I'll leave you with that. Thank you for watching. Subscribe, notification bell, like, share, comment, all that good stuff. Until next time, have a good one.